Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another Rialta Winnebago BW EuroVan instrument cluster, and the reason I name all those is because this cluster fits all those. This is kind of like a camper, so it can be the bottom of the chassis fits many different vehicles. It's exactly the same thing. All right, this is sent to me by Jiri in Georgia. He's concerned. He says, Mike, lights comes on and the speedometer works, but nothing else. So this is a 1993. The speedometer is mechanical. So that part, so long as it's powered, because it will need some electric part in there, but it will work. I have on the screen one exactly as his, and I want you to see the prindles and all that here. Because when this one is powered on, the clock comes on, but not the Prindle. And that is not a good sign. Realistically, not really a good sign. I'm going to turn the other ones are just the blinkers and the high beam light, so they're working and the lights are working. I'm going to change the resistance in here for the fuel and temperature. No response. This I have one side to ground and then the other one going over to what I usually use for this. I also have, as you can see, connected here, RPM and the speedometer, but the speedometer again is not used in here. I'm going to inject the signal so we can see that those channels are on. This should come up the tachometer to 1,000 and it's not working either. So yes, I can definitely reproduce your concerns in here. I'm going to turn this off because we're not doing anything. I just want to show the before. Let me open it up and do a few tests because that printer should come on. I do have a lot of information saved for these type of clusters. So let me go back to his folder. Give me 1 second right here. These is connections. These are the connections that I use for these 93. Again, 93 to 96, I think. Yeah, 91 to 96 actually. Um, those are the connections. I'm just going to keep in the screen for a second for those that wants to see it. But as you can see, 48 hertz. Actually, I got to raise it up to 48 hertz. I didn't see that. Let me put this into 48 hertz. See, it was what is good to save the information because 48 hertz shows us 1000 RPM. So let's reestablish this and put the signals on. It's still dead. So yeah, nothing changed. All right, just want to make sure that I go with my information. So what I'm doing is actually correct. All right, I can turn all this off. I also have saved, and we can see here, resistance because these are all style gauges you can pull after you get this apart, these two, and then you have to take the speedometer and everything apart, which is our whole by Phillips head screws, and you got to be careful. Again, this is a very old cluster. I would not recommend if you're not familiar with it to really work on it because you can damage the needles. You can completely destroy the cluster if you try to open it up and you don't know what you're doing. And I'm going to tell you, if you destroy any of these two, might as well discard it and garbage it because it's going to cost you more than trying to source another one if you're lucky and find one because these are like a unicorn. So please don't work on them if you don't know what you're doing because it will pretty much deem it as not repairable. And hopefully that's not the case. The reason I say that is because I noticed that we have different screws holding the the, the cover, and that is not a good sign, especially when I see things that is not normal. This spindle not coming on and none of this working is really not a common situation on these clusters, and that could be that somebody was trying to perform a repair and then I don't know, right? So all I can see is what I can see now. Again, information-wise, this is just how I checked the gauges to see and make sure that they're actually good. Let me just go forward, and this is for the tachometer. Again, resistance, if the resistance is good, I just stop there. If the resistance is not good, I open it and try to repair them because it's kind of like a coil wire that you can rewind. It's very time consuming and that makes it very expensive, but yes, it can be repaired. Again, if you if I come across something like that, the repair cost will completely change because that is not a normal repair. All right, guys, let me open this up and see what I find. All right, guys, I have the fuel gauge and the tach out. As you can see from there, these are, like I said, through hole um, gauges. So carefully you can pull them out. Things that I'm starting not to like, I can definitely see. Let me get something to point. This is a plastic pointer, so it will be perfect. I'm going to try to put some light, but not too much, so it's not too bright on the video. That is not an original cap. So as I assumed before, definitely somebody has been here, and this is starting to not look too good. I just want to keep you up to date, so let me get the speedometer out, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I got everything apart from the cluster. Yes, I see a lot of crack solders. I'm not sure if this is or not yet the correct capacitor for the board, but what worries me is what was here before. And this is things people don't understand. When you start trying to repair your own things, you remove where the problem was, or you create others that were not there. I can see the voltage regulator was soldered. Not sure if that is the correct regulator or voltage regulator for this cluster, and that can at the end damage a good unit. But again, I mean, it's your car. You can do whatever you want, right? All right, so let me proceed. We try to do some testing and some repairs. I do have a lot of information on these boards as well. I mean, working with them for a long time. But again, this is not looking too promising. I just want to keep you up to date of what I found and see if this can be repaired or not. But let me try it and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I finished with the repairs. I put everything back together, replaced the voltage regulator, the LCD display, um, IC, and soldered all the board capacitors. I mean, yeah, it was a lot of work on this one, but I think it's a good end. It's fixed. Let me just show you some of the information. Well, I think I already showed this in the beginning of the video. So let me lower this down. I want to show you. This is the linear voltage regulator, which you still be able to find. That's the one on the corner, and that is in the instrument cluster is a LM2940, and then the LCD duplex IC. This is the one I still have, and I bought plenty of them. You will not be able probably to find this one, but at least you can see the pinouts, and I'm trying to share as much information for others that are having this overseas and they cannot, send a cluster. I would rather you send the cluster and not fix it, but if it's not possible, at least I'm trying to help. All right, give me 1 second. All right, doing the test now on this one. So let me, yeah, everything is good to go. So let me power this up. Yeah, first thing that we immediately notice is the Prindle is back working. Check, make sure the rest of the lights are supposed to work and they're still working after the repairs. Very important, at least for my testing, right? Let's put the RPM, and we finally have RPM gauges working. All right, let me get the temperature and fuel tank. These are slow to raise or rise due to its construction, but they are working. I check all the resistance internally and I open them up and they're nice and clean. Luckily for him, nobody touches this and it's good. So Jerry, your instrument cluster is now fully operational, as you can see here. So thank you so much, guys, for visiting the channel. Again, if you got something like this, just leave it to the pros, leave it to the people that has been doing this for a long time. And if you do try to attempt this, make sure that you know your risk and it might not be repairable after. And this is what I want to always share because a lot of people sees me doing this and think it's just easy to do. Yes, I'm not saying that you born with learn or you know everything. You can start slowly trying, get yourself familiar with easier to repair components and newer that you can, get parts. And but when you're working with all these like these ones, they are like I said before, a unicorn. You want to make sure that you keep it as good as possible. Don't try to practice your solder in a board like this that cannot be replaced because you will leave a customer stranded and it's not fair. Okay, just throwing that out there. And yes, you need to get good tools. The more that you do work, the more that your name gets out there, people trust you more that you can buy more tools and invest into your lab as you go along. All right, guys, thank you so much for visiting the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.